say that now, it's not you. And then the next breath down the track, I'll say it's you.
You with a capital Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind all of that because I'm pretty good at watching my thoughts and questioning them, and being like, well, that's not true, or that's just a belief, let that go kind of thing. So I'm good there. Like, I feel like I have that. It's still the continuous back and forth of that, though, like the thought that comes in and saying no. Sort of like conversation.
It's the latter thought that you got to lose interest in. The first one's obvious. Thoughts are just happening. That's the first one. Yeah? But the latter thought, the latter thought, I'm not the thinker. I can see that that's just happening. Those thoughts are just happening, and those thoughts.
Okay.
Those thoughts, because they're just thoughts too.
Okay.
Just be careful you're not attributing those thoughts to the me character, because you might be and not even realize it. You might be. I'm not saying you are, but you might be and not even realize. Because we think, until we know different, that there's thoughts that just happen, and there's a me character that also has thoughts. And the me character's thoughts are different from the thoughts that just happen. Yeah. And an example of that would be, today I'm going to do everything I can not to get as caught up as I usually get caught up in the mind. Today I'm just going to try and be in the present moment. I'm going to be here and and we take those ones to be real over the thoughts that we're trying to let go of. It's still the same. It's still the same. Yeah. So, good. I'm glad you're good at, just watching thoughts and so on and so forth. I'd be much happier when you're not saying that and you're saying, I'm just here and I'm aware of this. Now you're out of there. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it can take a moment. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. It's just, yeah. See, mind is not the creator of the thoughts. Why do I say that? Because if you go looking for a mind, guess what you find?
You don't find anything.
Correct. So mind is a concept. But here's how powerful the concept is. We believe that thoughts are contained in my mind. And then you go looking for a mind and you discover there isn't one. I'm not saying that there's no intelligence behind thoughts, because clearly there is. If all your thoughts stopped, the universe as you know it stops, disappears. So there's an intelligence behind thoughts, but it's not the mind or the brain. Or
could you say that's what this, back to our earlier conversation, that's what the stillness is?
Yeah.
Is the intelligence behind
everything.
Behind everything.
Yeah. Including a thought. It's like, we're funny. Human beings are funny. Yeah. Like, just about wouldn't matter what culture you ask this question in, yeah, everyone agrees. Yeah. And it's this. Is there nature? Is there Mother Nature? Virtually every culture will go, yes, there is. Yeah.
Mhm.
But here's where it gets really crazy. Human beings believe they're separate from nature. Now, we would make statements like nature takes care of itself, takes care of everything, takes care of the planet and the plants and the trees and the water. And, and this planet's been here for a very, very, very long time, and it's still alive and it's still doing okay. And there's all these systems in place that kind of keeps it alive. And we call that nature. And then we exclude ourselves from it. Yeah.
And that's a good metaphor for this whole thing, is when human beings try to try to control nature, then it messes everything up. So if you try to control your own nature, that's when you start to get all wonky.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah. Human beings are being controlled by nature. 100%.
But they think they're in control. Yeah.
Correct. They don't see that they're being lived. They're actually being lived like the trees are being lived. The life force. Yeah. It's like, it's the same thing with, God. Yeah. God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And there's me, and I pray to God. Onto that just for a sec, right? Onto that for a sec. Yeah. Yeah. If God is the three omnis, then you are that too.
Yeah.
But we believe God is the three omnis, and there's me. Yeah, there's nature. Absolutely, there's nature. Yeah. Human beings are so arrogant that they believe they're separate from nature. And even if there were a bunch of human beings, because we know there are, right? Even if there were a bunch of human beings that are out there to save nature, that would still be nature saving nature.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
So totally okay. Totally okay. Nature doing what it's always done, trying to take care of the planet, keeping the ecosystem, keeping it all going. And nature's done some weird things. It slammed asteroids into the planet and wiped out, what is it, 90% of the life on the planet at one stage. And then it revitalized itself again. Nature causes earthquakes and volcanoes and tsunamis, and all these people get wiped out and so on. And it's just still nature.
Yeah.
It's still nature. Yeah. My teacher, Sailor Bob Adamson, was really big on bringing your understanding back to that, nature, how nature works, and stop separating yourself out from that. You're being lived. Look, we're not the only mammals on the planet, but we're the only mammals on the planet that believe they're separate from nature. Incredible. Incredible. So if human beings are, if we want to use this expression, excuse my French, if human beings are fucking up the planet, that's just nature doing that. like it's done thousands of times before. And then it revitalizes itself and comes back again, and
But the nature is a thing in the thought, so they are thought, no? Thought?
Is nature a thought?
Yeah.
Everything is. Everything is. Everything is. What I'm talking about is in the absence of thought. In the absence of thought, who am I? What am I? Where am I? In the absence of thought. In fact, in the absence of thought, would those three questions even come up? Who am I? Where am I? What? They wouldn't even come up. You're right. You're right. You're right. See, there's not one single solitary thing we can say about non-dual that would be true. Nothing. Nothing that would be true. True. Even when we say it's one, sometimes it'll even be qualified as being one without a second, one without the possibility of there even being two or three or four or five or six or seven. One. We don't know what one is. We need to qualify it with one without a two to then get a conceptual understanding as to what we mean by one. One. There's nobody on this earth that could show me what one is. No one. I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there. Just anyone on the whole planet that can show me what one is, I'll be very interested. They could show me one phone. They could show me one mouse. They could show me one hand. They could show me one finger, but show me one. It's a concept. One is a concept. Represented by a symbol, but we might do this. One. But show me one. Show me two. Show me three, four, five. Show it to me. You can't. Figures are conceptual. So even one, what are we going to say about one? Even the story I made up earlier, Midge, is not true. In order for one to experience anything, it's got to split itself into two. It's just a story. Yeah. But when this does dawn on you, what you end up with is one and two. It's a two-ended stick. You can't have one without two, and you can't have two without one. You can't. The only difference is now you know from direct experience one and two. People that don't know this, all they know is two, and they don't even realize that they know two, that they're stuck in dual. They're stuck in duality. They don't even know that. I know that from people that have had sit here with me, been on the path for 10, 20, 30 years, and they give me a big spiel on what non-duality is. I go, that's great, wonderful. Now tell me what duality is. And you could hear a pin drop, seriously. Like they've never been asked that question before. What's duality? Holy shit. We're all trying to get out of duality to experience non-dual. Why? Why? Duality must be the problem. Well, we better know what it is. We better know what it is. And people don't know what it is. Duality.